Welcome everybody. This is Emmanuel coming to you today with Financial Breakthrough Academy. I'm glad to be with you to go over a few information as we educate ourselves, get information so we can act on it and experience what our desire is in our finances. I trust the year has begun very well for you and your family, that you're experiencing the blessing of the Lord in your life. We will get started. This is Financial Breakthrough Academy. We have so many things to cover today on our session here, and it doesn't matter what your personal situation is, there's always an opportunity to be able to get that where it ought to be in your life. I think the topics and the subjects to discuss are numerous. There are so many things we could be talking about, but we will, over the weeks and months and throughout the year, address different topics that may relate. Some of them to you personally. Some of them it might concern your business. For some people, it might be maybe some area of your personal life that you want to deal with. No matter what it is, it's our belief that some subjects will resonate with you, and you'll be able to use the information we share. And to start with, again, the information that we share on this broadcast and this program is for educational purposes, to allow you to be well informed, allow you to be able to equip yourself, so when you find yourself in a situation of making a decision for your finance, you have the tools needed to take the right step. Obviously, if you need to implement any concept, any idea that we share here, we recommend that you work with a professional, a financial advisor, CPA, an attorney, who will guide you in implementing any of the ideas that we share, the information that we share with you on this platform. So that's very important to know. With that, let's go ahead and get started here for our topic for today. We are addressing the subject of setting financial goals. It's just about that time that most of us want to be able to set financial goals to attain specific objectives for our family, for our lives. I know financial goals, they are not the only goals that we may be setting. Some of us may be setting goals for maybe our marriage, for our family. But whatever it is, I'm sure there are some sort of goals that you may be setting right now that you believe will go a long way to help you in your own life. So on this particular channel, our focus is on financial education. So we want to address some things that we can do when we are setting financial goals in this session. All right. Now, if you know very well, we have specific values that we believe in that helps us a lot, and one of them is some biblical guidance. So today we want to look at one important verse of scripture that allows us to align our education in a way that is long lasting. If you read in the scripture in Proverbs 29:18, it says that where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. A vision is like setting a goal. It's having a specific direction that you want to go, having that particular assignment that you want to accomplish. So that's a nice biblical principle that lays a foundation for us for our discussion this day. Now, here is a saying that I picked up that I think ties to what we are trying to share today. And basically, it's saying that to succeed in your mission or your goal or your personal desire, the quote is saying that to succeed in your mission, you must have a single-minded devotion to your goal. One Abdul Kalam is the one that put together this statement that I think resonates very well with what we are sharing today. Many of us have different ideas and different things we want to do. But a lot of times we are so scattered with the things we want to do. You have 1,001 things on our hands, and the human being is designed in such a way that we tend to perform very well when we have a very narrow focus, one time at a time, or one thing at a time. It doesn't mean that we cannot multitask. We can sure do, and I multitask, but the point is that if you truly want to achieve a goal, you have to at any point in time have a very single-minded devotion or focus on what you're trying to do. That allows you to really emphasize and address and align all your effort and your energy to that particular thing to be able to bring it to fruition. So I think it goes very well as we are talking about setting goals, that we tend to understand what it takes to have that singular focus for our vision and our goals. All right. So what is a goal? What is really a goal? And I went out looking on the dictionary. Merriam-Webster's dictionary says that a goal is actually something that you are trying to do or achieve. It seems very straightforward and simple. Yeah, it is. That a goal is something that you are trying to achieve or you're trying to do, and again, there are several aspects of goals that we can discuss or talk about, but our primary objective is for this particular session is on financial goals. So the question becomes, what is your financial goal? What goal have you set for yourself when it comes to your finances? Again, we could address any other aspect of goal setting, but our main objective today is to focus on financial goals. What are some of the financial goals that you have set in place for this year, for this season, for this particular period, for this particular time in your life? If we don't have that narrow focus and attention on it, it's most likely not going to happen. But if we put a very, I will say, laser focus attention on that goal that we want, most likely as we put our efforts to it, we'll see some traction on that. Is that right? So what are your own financial goals? What is it that you have set for yourself? And my goal and my assignment today is just to give you a few pointers on some areas where you could potentially be looking at certain financial goals for this year. Right? So let's look at it. A financial goal I define as, a financial goal is a defined objective to achieve a target monetary standard on the journey to financial freedom. Okay, that's a definition I put together. The financial goal is a defined objective to achieve a target monetary standard on the journey to financial freedom. It's financial freedom is a journey. We don't get there overnight. It takes time in the process. But a financial goal is one of the things that gets us there. Is that right? One of the things that really align us towards that objective in attaining that goal of having that ultimate journey, destination of financial freedom that we all desire in our lives. I'm sure you desire for your family, you desire for your business, for your children, whatever it is. It's having the financial goal is having a defined objective so you can achieve something in terms of monetary standard that leads you to that specific journey. Okay, so let's see. Here are a few types of financial goals that we can have. Okay, and we're going to go through some of these and dissect a few of them. We have what we call income generation goals, debt elimination goals, retirement income goals, wealth creation goals, lifestyle and legacy goals. These are the five. There could be several others out there, but I just pull these five key ones together for us to talk about it today. Again, if at any time during this broadcast you would like to be able to get some more information, please don't hesitate to chat in, or frankly speaking, I encourage you to share this broadcast so some friends and your network can learn from this. One gift you can give anybody is really allowing them to have information and knowledge that you can use truly for their lives. Okay, so these are the 5 main aspects of financial goals that I want us to address. So let's take them one after the other and go over them and see what they have to share for us. The first is income generation goals. The question is, how much money do you want to earn every year? You see, if we don't have that goal put in place, if you don't truly set a goal for yourself, okay, maybe last year I was earning $40,000 or so, or $50,000. This year I want to set a goal to earn X amount of dollars. You see, that by itself, when you are able to set that goal, have that target, maybe write it down, have it somewhere that you can see every day, you can visualize it, you can meditate on it, if you have the Christian inclination, pray over it, whatever it is. But you have that objective for your income. In other words, what you get paid for the work that you do, what you get paid for the work that you do. And I identify 2 aspects. You may be an employee of a company where you're working for a company, whatever that company may be, or you may be self-employed. You work for yourself. It's easy. No matter the kind of I would say category you fall in, if you are able to set that goal for yourself, if you're working for a company, it's okay. I want to earn extra $10,000 a year. Okay, well, that is the goal. So if you were earning 40,000 before, and you say, okay, this year I want to maybe earn an extra 10,000, then what happens is now you put yourself in the position to be able to align all your energy, your giftings, your strength towards that goal. And it may be you may have to negotiate an increase in your rate of income if you are employed working on hourly rate, or if maybe you're on a salary, it may be a good time to go out there and renegotiate your income with your employer. Perhaps you've taken some courses over the time, you have improved yourself, you're kind of at a place where you feel like you're adding value to the company. And if you do that, you set yourself apart in being able to say, hey, I think I deserve this or that, because this is what I'm adding to the company, this is my contribution I'm making. I think I bring a lot of value to this organization, I deserve more. So it doesn't matter whether you are working for a company or you're working for yourself and you're self-employed. Again, these are the 2 aspects: working for a company as an employee and also being self-employed. If you're self-employed, of course, you have a business, an organization, a service you provide, in the goods and services you sell, whatever it is, you have the opportunity at that time to be able to improve your business and generate income. But it starts off with setting that goal, the income goal that you want. Okay, so that's the first type of goal that we can kind of think about or do here. And with that, let's go ahead and look at another type of goal in this scenario. So when we talk about income generation goal, it looks like all of us will fall in one of these categories. This is a statistics put together, data from the U.S. Census Bureau. If you look at it there, maybe you're falling in one category or the other. In fact, as we look at it carefully, if you are earning perhaps $50,000-ish or so, yeah, you are up there in the getting to the middle range of the spectrum. If you're earning about 150 to 200,000 a year, you're perhaps in the upper 15% of income earners in the United States, and that's pretty impressive. Is that right? So this should give you an idea of what kind of income you may be falling to, and if you find yourself in one category or the other, you can now set the goal that, hey, I want to get to this next level in my income generation opportunity, for myself and for my family, or for my business. All right, so that's income, as one particular financial goal, the income goal that you have. So think about it, look carefully, as the year has begun. Take a look. What kind of income goal that you want? What income goal are you shooting for this year? And then you start to work towards that particular goal. All right. So our next thing is to look a little bit at, the next item here is debt elimination goal, or at least debt reduction goal. You know, in financial goals, as we are talking about setting financial goals, one of the goals that we really want to be able to handle is to be able to deal with debt, because debt can be very devastating. Is that right? So if we have opportunity to deal with eliminating debt in our finances or reducing it significantly, that allows us to have enough disposable income, to do what we want to do. Is that right? So the question becomes, how much debt do you have? If you take a look at your personal financial statement, or the things you have in place in terms of your money, you should be able to put a number to it. Okay, this is how much debt I have. The other question is, what type of debt do you have? Is it school loans? Is it mortgage? Is it consumer debt or credit card debt? What kind of debt is it? That will really set you apart in understanding what kind of debt elimination goal that you have to attack this year. Okay. Now, there are good debt and there's bad debt. We're not going to go too much in detail, but the point is that there is certain type of debt that is not necessarily a bad thing in itself, because you are using what we call other people's money. You are tapping into other people's resources to be able to allow you to execute a goal or an assignment or a specific agenda or objective you have. And some other debt are bad, not in an accounting terminology of bad debt where it cannot be recovered or paid by the whoever owes you, but in terms of its nature, it tends to reduce and decline and bring much more financial stress to you. And a lot of times things like consumer debt, like credit card bills and things like that, they fall into that kind of debt scenario. But when you have a business debt or loan you took to build a business, or you invested money in yourself in an education or taking a course to help you to be better, that's not really bad in that sense, because you are investing to expect a future return. Is that right? So again, the second financial goal here is about debt elimination. What kind of debt do you have to target to eliminate? You may not be able to deal with all of it at a time, but if you start to break it down, you can attack one piece at a time. Before realize by the end of the year, you have significantly reduced or eliminated the debt that you may have at the beginning of the year. So debt elimination is the second type of financial goal that we can look at. Okay, the next is retirement income goal. Retirement income goal. Now, I know depending on your age, most of us, maybe in the early stages of our career, or we are perhaps mid-career or almost ready to get to retirement. Our retirement income goal is another important aspect of our financial goal. You should be able to start thinking about how much income do you need during your retirement years, by which you mean that when you stop working, is that right, how much of the money that you are earning today will you need when you are no more working? Okay, in fact, because sometimes it's so far away, we don't tend to, it's not easy for us to grasp it. And that's why when we have opportunity to sit down, we can analyze these things and help you understand the element that goes into building up on the retirement income goal. So, there are different sources of retirement income, or areas you can think about when you are building a retirement income goal. You come from one, your social security. Okay. uh, Most of us have not even thought about what I will be expecting to get when I'm retired from social security. You are contributing towards it, so it's a good idea to start evaluating your social security statement and all that. In fact, one thing I recommend to people is to open an account with the Social Security Administration. It's a very simple process that allows you to know how much you are projected to take home from Social Security when you retire. So that's a one source of your Social Security income that can be part of building that income goal for retirement. The other is your pension or 401k. Now, if your organization or company is lucky enough to have pension whereby you are guaranteed a lifetime income when you retire, that's a good thing. You can now factor that in your planning process. If not, a lot of companies, private entities have 401k retirement income programs that it's a good idea to consider reviewing those statements. Maybe since you started working, you've never even, looked at your social security statement, or in this case, your 401k statement or your pension statement or anything like that, or had an opportunity to even open the account lately. I will highly encourage you to take some moment to, review those statements or put it together for you. Now, the third source that will lead in your retirement income will be your personal savings and investment. So think about it. When we talk about retirement income and retirement income planning, we talk about what we call the three-legged stool. And Social Security is one, your pension or 401k is another, your personal savings and investment is the third, piece of the puzzle for that. So I think, those three elements, talking about your retirement income goal, Social Security, your pension and 401k, and your personal savings or investment, these three elements together will form what your retirement income goal will be. So the question is, if you are planning towards retirement and your financial goals, I think it's important to understand how much income will I receive when I retire. It's a number that we can start to think about and organize to arrive at that number. Now, it's not set in stone, but it gives you a guideline when it comes to planning financially. All right. So that's the again the third second part of what we're talking about here, and we're gonna let's switch over and look at that aspect of it one more time. So we've talked about the income goal. We talked about the retirement income goal here, and now let's look at what we call wealth creation goal. So it's one thing working during our working years, and also having the opportunities to look at our retirement income, what we are expected to get in our financial goal setting. I think for most of us, we've never thought about what is my wealth creation goal? What kind of goals do I have when it comes to wealth creation? Wealth is when we are able to live out our lives with the resources at our disposal and fulfill our God-given gift, and I would say life without worry of the daily aspect of finances. Okay, and it should be a comprehensive wealth creation strategy whereby you're putting all the pieces together from all aspects of your financial life to be able to arrive at that place. Okay, so I think it's critical that we understand that wealth creation is another important aspect of our financial goal setting. Okay, the question becomes, how much are you planning to be worth at a certain age? For example, at age 65. Okay, when you turn 65, all things being equal, what do you plan to be worth? I once had that analysis being put together on a program that El Nightingale had put together years ago, and it just struck me, is that right? That we could hardly think about, hey, I'm now 45 years old, or I'm 60, or I'm 50, or I'm 35. If I turn 65, let's say you are 30, or let's say you are 35, and you have the next 30 years to work actively in a workforce, and at age 65, which is the technical retirement age, give or take, what would you want to be worth in terms of financially? Now, we're not talking about your values and your inner personality and your love and things that is also highly important as a person. We are only discussing the financial element that goes into that puzzle. So how much are you willing or planning to be worth when you are at age 65? That should be part of your wealth creation goal. Is that right? And one way to start to look at it, you know, technically we call it your net worth. So um, the simple formula is to take all the assets or the things you own, and you subtract all the things you owe. In other words, assets minus liabilities is defined as your net worth. So in a wealth creation goal, that can be a good starting point, and we have tools available to be able to allow you to analyze these numbers to see, okay, if I'm 30 years old now, 40 years old now, over the next 30 or 40, 35 years or whatever, how much will I be worth? What is my goal at that point? Remember, you will very soon be not thinking about yourself, but your kids and your children and grandchildren, and that begins to add other elements of complexity to the story of our financial lives. So wealth creation goals is also another important aspect of our financial goals that we have to be thinking about and discussing. Now, that leads us to the last part of this conversation, that is talking about our lifestyle and legacy goals. Now, by this we mean, yeah, you're living a life, you're enjoying yourself today, your income, the things you are doing, the opportunity you're putting together, the plans you're putting to generate revenue, and all that are working for you. But ultimately, during your retirement years and your end of life years, when you're no more here, of course, the question becomes, what will be your legacy? What kind of legacy are you going to leave behind? How will people remember you? How do you want to live and be remembered? Okay, whether by your family, by the community, or by charitable initiatives that you care about. Is that right? So that speaks to the lifestyle and legacy goals that we can identify when we come talking about setting financial goals for the year. You see, if we start to look at it from this high level, it really puts the whole thing in a different perspective for us. It allows us to truly examine ourselves very, very well to see if we truly understand what we are talking about and the things that is important to us. Okay, remember, it's one thing living for today and doing this and doing that. It's another thing really experiencing the fullness of your life. So in this broadcast and this teaching, we've discussed setting financial goals, and a few of them we touched on, 5 key ones. Income generation goals, debt elimination goals, retirement income goals, wealth creation goals, and lifestyle and legacy goals. So all of these, they play a very important part in our overall financial life. At this time of the year, most of us are thinking about how we can do better, we can be better, we can let things work well for us. I think it's awesome and it's good, but we have to consider this aspect of that process of what is it that my finances should look like all throughout the year. What kind of plan am I trying to put together to be able to experience all of that? And I know there are many questions, and perhaps on your mind, or you're wondering how can I go about this. Look, I think that's part of why we are doing this. We want to be able to help as many people as possible to be able to take time and go over some of these things and identify areas of improvement and make things work for them. So I'm going to invite you to, come for a complimentary discovery call. This is at no cost to you. Just text your name to 720-575-1505. One of us, of our team members, will reach out to you, and we'll be able to set a time to discuss some of the things we talked about in setting goals. This is the time to do that. You don't want to wait till the end of the year to be living in a place of regret that, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. It's the best time is now. Is that right? Although we may have started late, it's never too late to be able to catch up and to take a stand that, look, I'm going to make some changes in my finances and set myself apart when it comes to things of this nature. So anyway, just wanted to share a few things with you today when it comes to setting goals, okay, setting financial goals in particular. And again, there are many aspects of life that will pull together to allow us to feel successful, feel accomplished, and we are just addressing this one element of it. This being my pleasure to share with you today and address some of these things for you and with you. Again, I encourage you, if you like to have opportunity to talk with me and discuss some of these things, just text your name to 720-575-1505. We have a complimentary discovery call with you, and allow you to be able to share some of these things, and we can align a few things for you and help you to attain your goals. It's been my pleasure. This has been Emmanuel and CFP here, working with you on this Financial Breakthrough Academy program. Looking forward to be a blessing to you and your family. Have a wonderful rest of your time, and look forward to be back with you very soon. Be blessed.